intro time. All right, we're back here with another Get Better video. Today we are looking at Mizuki. We have got KiWii here from Kintsugi, who just put up a memorable performance with the newest support last night. We're in Master Division for FACEIT League here. So, I mean, this is the highest level of play in North America outside of OWCS. And you don't see the Mizuki very often. But KiWii brought it out a lot last night. Figured this would be a really good one to hop on board with. Quite literally one of the best supports in all of FACEIT League here in the West. So, should be a good one. We'll dive in and see what we can learn about some Mizuki. As always, we'll be looking at the base. You know, your fundamentals are positioning, timing, and cooldown usage, right? These are just fundamentals we look at every time. With Mizuki specifically, we're looking at chain usage and also the Kashiro usage, the Kashiro's return. I'm really curious as to how KiWii uses it. I didn't feel like KiWii used the mobility cooldown very often at all. So one I'm very much keeping a very close eye on. But yes, we're getting value out of chain. And how often do you use the Kashiro's return? And how do you use that cooldown? What a unique cooldown it is. I love this hero. This isn't one we see very much at semi-pro play. I'm anxious to delve into it. Let's get better at Mizuki. You're playing with an Orisa and an Emery. You got a Kiri that is going to be there to heal you and just Suzu and things if necessary. But I mean, as far as compositionally, you don't have the peel of like a Lucio, you know, where that comes with boops and it comes a little more offensive prowess. The Mizuki kind of filling that role. And we do have the Iyari band out here from Amplify. We did see KiWii using the Iyari, especially on Busan, used it 2 of the 3 sub-maps. It had insane stats on Busan. Well, I'll show you the stats for the whole series here at the very end of the video, so stick around for that because they're nutty. This map is really where KiWii sticks with the Mizuki the most. Don't really see the typical Lucio at all. We get a little bit more Lucio in the second map of this series. We are in map 3 of this 3-map series. You know, KiWii kind of using Mizuki in this role, kind of, you know, like you would in Iyari. I feel like it's a double flex support look, but with the main support playing the Mizuki in this situation. You can play around your teammates' picks, and of course playing around your enemy picks as well. I mean, we're getting a mirror comp outside of KiWii's Mizuki versus Ewan is on the Lucio here for Amplify. Right now, just head on a swivel, positioning between the flex DPS, so Lich, whoever is trying to control that flank. You've got Biz on the Tracer, really trying to aggressively push that flank. Keeping a sharp eye on the Tracer to help them, to assist their own Tracer, and hoping to win that duel. Huge plays there. We'll talk about that. It's this positioning where you can see both kind of the frontline fight, but this important flank fight. So, since Biz has a Lucio here to back them up, these are all semi-pro, extremely elite S-tier players. You cannot leave your Tracer in a 1v2 like this. So, KiWii doing an awesome job of positioning themselves to where they can keep an eye on both this fight and the frontline fight, realizing how aggressive Amplify is getting, and they're here to support Lich in this duel. You'll see both end up having to kind of fall back and give up some space as the front line and the flank fight kind of merge a little bit here. Okay, there's a use of the Kashiros. Am I saying that right? Kadashiro's return. We did get a use of the Kadashiro's return from KiWii in this exchange. As they became the front line. So why did they use it there and not sooner? Because Lich was taking the aggro in the start of this fight. You force a recall. You heard Blizz's recall comes out, and then KiWii knows that's their time to move. Rotating with Lich, but suddenly we end up with KiWii is kind of the edge of this flank, right? Lich, there's a call made or something calling, you know, Orisa right now. And so Lich is moving on that fight. I'm thinking KiWii knows that they are the flank right here. They are holding off both Ewan and Biz. And that's why we see not just the Kadashiro's return invested from KiWii, but we're going to get immediately Juno throws down a Suzu as well to try to keep KiWii alive through this exchange. Good headshots. Oh, that was so nasty. And KiWii comes back. Oh, it's just a split second late to save. I don't even know if the hat would have been enough, if the healing castle would have been enough to save Juno. You probably would have had to hit them directly, but I love this. This is just good use of chain. Again, awareness is kind of the umbrella. If we're talking about cooldown usage, timing, positioning, awareness is the umbrella that covers them all. This is wonderful awareness of, hey, catch Hutch before they can hit their swift step. Right? They had their swift step available. They're trying to greed and get jutsu, but the chain keeps them from swift stepping out. And you're able to punish this. I mean, and that you won't see Hutch make this mistake again for the entire map. You check that carry immediately. I mean, Hutch will do it. You see Hutch pick up a 2-piece just like that. So this was a heads-up play, and KiWii making Hutch think twice while doing that. Again, speaking of good awareness, this is simple. Going back to kite your Kiriko. Simple things. And again, this is an organized play environment, so not everything is going to be stuff that you can execute in your ranked games, but there is simple things that you can do just with you and your friends, even if you're just in a 2 or 3 stack, to have the awareness to be like, hey, my Kiriko died in that fight just now. I need to go back and kite and make sure we get our Kiriko back in and give our team a better opportunity of being at full strength for this next team fight. Simple awareness that can make a huge difference in your games. Okay, now hits the Katashiro. And once again, because they're under pressure from Biz. And not a moment sooner. Interesting. Love it. Hutch Kitsune Rush is what prompts this. Don't forget, you get an initial burst of healing. So, I mean, extra sustain as well as absorbing projectiles from outside. I always think about kind of the defense matrix aspect, the absorbing projectiles. I forget about the sustain that it brings to a fight as well, right? So, a good counter to the Kitsune Rush. Okay. I was just curious where that Kitsune Rush was placed. So that's down there. There we hear it come out and we see it there. Yep. And then we drop in and throw in our ultimate. Yep. So once again, any pressure from Biz. And KiWii not afraid to use the Katashiro return. But that is what that is for right now. You get pressure from the Tracer. That is what you're using your Katashiro return for. Now, let's see how aggressive KiWii plays during... Okay, we're playing hard flank here with Jutsu. Oh, what a raid! Okay, when you're just that kind of sick, you pull this off. Timing. This is not accidental that this works, or just by happen chance that running off by yourself is why this works. The timing on this is exquisite. The read onto the Tracer with the shot combo there. By the way, so shot, chain, shot. Jutsu pulls the aggro and flies out. Right, so Jutsu is now successfully regrouped with the team. This has got one of your 2 flankers is now successfully rejoined the core. Now KiWii needs to get back with the core. So we'll get the Katashiro immediately off a cooldown, and it just surges forward, converging on an area that Jutsu has covered with the ultimate from above, and the calls are being made to just run down the tank anyway. Beautiful, beautiful flank. This was insanely good. This is insanely good. I want to watch this whole thing from the beginning. It's coordinated and well-timed. It's not haphazard. And you can execute like that. And so you know the flank is clear. That opens up the rest of the battlefield for you. And so some of that is just practice. Straight up. I think that was off the bounce shot. Wait. I want to see that again. It's this one. Yeah, it's a bounce shot. That's not even fair. Just another level. Y'all remember, I stream FACEIT League 5 days a week. You want to see KiWii live? Y'all come check out some FACEIT League. Okay. KiWii's striking fear in Biz right now. Notice our positioning and our timing. So we noticed from the very first team fight that KiWii was positioning so where they have eyes on the front line, right? You can see them. So the healing Kasa hits Jutsu, hits the hit scan, and is able to sweep through all the way up to Hattori in the front line, where Lich is right now playing with the tank. As they've gotten more confident, I mean, KiWii is controlling Biz, but that's the other thing, is they also have sightlines on that left side, right? So sightlines on Jutsu, which is considered the flank right now, where they join in, make sure they can protect that, as well as being able to get heals onto Hattori up front. So just really nice positioning from KiWii. That seems more, it's such a flow thing. It's not, I'm going to sit and hold and give my life for this one corner or this one spot. It's very much a flow. Right now the flow is, they know they've got Biz caught out. Biz had no clue! At the beginning of this video, we were talking about how do you get max value out of your chain, and when do you use your Katashiro returns. Two of the primary things we're looking at for Mizuki, specifically. And being able to make these kind of plays, this is max value out of your chain, because you nullify the recall, you nullify the reason Tracer can do this, is because a Tracer with full cooldowns like this, Biz has three, just used one blink and has almost gotten it back as they're moving in position here, and has recall. KiWii can nullify that. Because of that, Biz feels like they can position themselves wherever they want and sneak in, but KiWii makes you think twice about that. No recall for you. And it's an immediate stagger. Incredible value. Incredible value from the binding chain. It wasn't Biz's fault other than, I mean, who checks that corner at the juice truck for a Mizuki hiding there? I mean... J-Man is an S tier hit scan, so it does pick up the trade onto Juno, which I think saves this game. That trade from J-Man actually saves this map. Yeah, see, as you will see immediately, the Katashiro return engaged and a full retreat here from Kintsugi. Kind of brings both of our teams to a stalemate here, and we'll end up for a fight for Courtyard with Kitsune rushes invested. Beautiful chain. Beautiful chain. Oh my goodness. Insane accuracy out of both KiWii and Juno through that fight. And this is where it's so important. You've got to find value in other ways. And that's exactly, I mean, this is immense value from both Juno and KiWii. Completely interrupting what Gappa wants to do, as well as intercepting the flank from Biz. KiWii is just, I mean, S tier awareness to keep an eye on everything that is happening around you on that one. If we look at this point, KiWii is 13-0 with 3,100 damage. Has almost as much damage as their DPS do. I mean, almost as much damage as their Emery does. Out damaging Biz on the other side by over 50%. So far, opening 5 minutes, this has been an outrageous performance from KiWii. Only KiWii and Hutch have their majors unlocked. Notice that we're using the Binding Chain, gives you extra damage perk. Exposed Soul increases your damage dealt by 30%. And we're using Quick Step. So when Katashiro's return is active, allies get extra speed. All allies within their Remedy aura are getting 25% movement speed. So I wonder if this changes. So for looking at the second half of this map, I'm curious if this changes how KiWii uses their Katashiro's return. An aggressive Kukai Sanctuary. Layered with the Katashiro to give the speed to Hattori and anybody else who wanted to go in. What went wrong? It's just a good sound barrier from Ewan. Maybe we were hoping that were ahead of Ewan in ult charge. Ewan is an exceptional main support. Both these teams are likely playoff contenders. Like, neither of these teams are slouches. Amplify was 5-0 coming into this match. Nobody in this lobby is here on accident or is slacking. I'm not saying everybody had a perfect game or doesn't make, never makes a mistake. That's not what I mean. But everybody is very capable, has extraordinary skill. Hattori will get staggered here, so we're just going to wait. Again, just patience. This goes under our timing umbrella. It's just patience. Know your tank is dead. Know your tank got traded out. Don't get so focused in on trying to do damage and stuff. I mean, remember that. So it's not just waiting. They're staying safe. They're not checking their phone. They're not AFK. They're keeping an eye on all their teammates while they're doing this, but they're not shooting either. They're staying quiet. They're not firing. And you can see how KiWii is keeping, look at, head on a swivel, extremely aware of where all their teammates are. KiWii is not poking. They're not trying to do unnecessary damage, which could give away their position. They're staying very safe and very aware of what is happening around them. Important stuff between fights. Once again, we're seeing the binding chain used onto the D.Va because of the thrusters and the maneuverability of D.Va being such a big part of their kit, right? You take that away, and you can take away a lot of the value of the D.Va. So we've been focusing on how do you get value? How do you get the best value out of binding chain? So that bought enough time for Hattori to get in a position to kind of start squeezing some pressure in on Gap. Precious seconds bought. The tank also an easy target for the chain make. We're not trying to hit ridiculously tough skill shots onto the Tracer over and over again, right? We're getting good, easy value onto the D.Va consistently with that binding chain. And it's more opportunistic when using binding chain against the flanker. So we do see an aggressive flank from our supports. And so it's KiWii and Lich, by the way. So same thing you would often see at this level with a Lucio. KiWii is supporting Lich in this flank on the side in this 2-3 split, but also timed with Jutsu's ultimate. Notice the timing on the override protocol from Jutsu. One of the rare misses from KiWii with the binding chain. With 2 minutes to go, Amplify will hold just barely. I mean, honestly, great dive from Gap. Can't help but feel more value from the Kitsune rush from Amplify here. But honestly, just a great dive onto Gap. If you're KiWii in this situation, you got to tip your hat to Gap on that one. Simple as that. Okay. Could be just communication between your flanker over there and checking to see where Biz is going. I believe is what is happening here. They're sharing knowledge. Knowledge is so important. And I love the use of the Kadashiro's return to go scout. Interrupt the dive. Huge binding chain. The overclock from J-Man forces the attention. Otherwise, everybody would have just stayed focused on the D.Va. But the overclock from J-Man required attention. And beautifully done. Let's watch that one more time. What else we got? The binding chain in the beginning is insane. What a stop. Notice the positioning as well. We're going to position ourselves. We're going to nestle ourselves right in here. So you know you've got, you know where Jutsu and Juno are here. We're not really seeing them, you know, head on a swivel like we've seen in previous fights. But KiWii knows where their 2 teammates are and they're in their 2-3 split here. And it's just completely keeping eyes on tank because Hattori is in the thick of it, right? But smart positioning, huddling up against this wall. Look at this positioning. Very safe. And so when this overclock comes out from J-Man, they're going to have a hard time finding KiWii. Very smart position to where they're minimizing risk and maximizing uptime into the fight. In both heals. Aiming like distance to Hattori as well, right? They're going to rotate. Try to keep Hattori within that Remedy aura. Great chase down. Just stick to Ewan. Positioning winning the day, I think, for KiWii in that fight. Oh, it's nice when your Tracer can deliver an opener like that. The Kadashiro dance around. Actually, it gets beat. One of the few times we see KiWii get beat. And you got double team. That's how much of a threat KiWii had been, is they got double teamed by Gap and Biz in there. So they sent both their tank and their flanker to deal with KiWii. So I mean, a rare miss. You see the bait of the chain. That was very intentional. A quick little shot. We just did the Tracer video. I just want to highlight. So that was very intentional. Biz baited that. Nicely done. Right, the little double blink to bait the chain. Honestly, nicely done. Once again, tip of your hat. Hey, good play to Biz. Maybe they've gotten a little aggressive. Maybe the positioning wasn't quite as safe as it had been throughout the series. Tried to push up and get aggressive on the back of that opening pick with Lich landing the pulse bomb, you know, and maybe just got a little too aggressive. This will bring us to the final 15 seconds. We'll watch this out. We actually end up KiWii is going to make a swap to a Lucio to speed everybody back for this last fight. So I'm not really interested in the Lucio swap. We'll see. Well, actually, okay, it does happen eventually. We might get one more team fight on the Mizuki. The Sanctuary, just to try to fend off the Kitsune rush. Amplify wins a big ult fight. Juno doesn't spend their Kitsune rush. Oh, a quick little move just to pull your hit scan, just to get that extra little jump. Like, that's what we're talking about here. Those are the margins that we're talking about with these teams. Oh, I'm going to let it play out just so I'm not leaving suspense, but I'm not really worried about... We're staying focused on the Mizuki for this video. Here, we can just go to an overhead over here. We're ready to stream these matches 5 days a week. So, I mean, just exceptional Overwatch. Some of the best around. What an amazing performance from KiWii here today. That was, I mean, just unreal. Let's go look at some stats there for that series. Kintsugi do close out the 3-0 with that map win on Runasapi. I'll go ahead and add the point. This is map 1 which was on Busan. It had an exceptional series all the way around, and that map got 10k damage from KiWii. Map 2, which was on Atlas, so it was kind of half Lucio on that map. But it ends up 18-6 with 6k damage there. And then the map that we focused on for Runasapi, I mean, it was clearly nearly 100% Mizuki. 17-5 in that map with 5k damage and 7.5k heals. An exceptional performance from one of the best supports that we have, I think, in all of FACEIT League, at least in the West. Remember to like and sub. That helps a lot. Comment in any players you want to see or what heroes you want to see next. Also, I have other Let's Get Better videos, which will be a playlist, I think, up here somewhere. All right, I'll see you next time.